JJK Chapter 258 leaks are here, and it seems like things are repeating because despite Yuji hitting Sukuna with so many black flashes, Sukuna still managed to hold his ground in the fight. The chapter begins with the narrator explaining how Gojo got his RCT back after hitting 2 black flashes against Sukuna. There is no flashback to Gojo here. It's still just in the present with Yuji. But the narrator is explaining this and saying how Sukuna was also going to get his RCT back to regrow his limbs. But he actually couldn't because Yuji prevented him from doing that by hitting him with all of those black flashes. The narrator specifically mentions that Yuji hit black flashes right in between Sukuna and Megumi's soul realms. However, Shiki Sukuna instantly uses domain expansion, Malevolent Shrine, but it is not the Malevolent Shrine we're used to seeing. It appears as if maybe the 10 shadows have been infused into it. The narrator says that the king's domain had returned to its master along with the black sparks. Next, everything in the surrounding area starts to get slashed. It's just like when the Malevolent Shrine destroyed a large portion of Shibuya. The narrator says, despite including uncertain elements and binding vows, Ryuman Sukuna had replicated Malevolent Shrine without dropping its effective range or output after experiencing the black flash. I didn't understand the meaning of this, but who knows? We might understand it better when the chapter comes out. But whatever it may be, it destroyed the entire city. Then we get to see another flashback where Hikari says that it's important to learn RCT and countermeasures to domain for this fight. Choso says if it's about RCT, he and Yuji can manage somehow. Yuji wonders, how? Choso then asks the RCT users how they compensate for the blood when they regenerate their bodies. Hikari says his RCT is automatic and Yuta says he just goes by instinct, but Shoko said she converts curse energy into blood. Choso then says his body allows him to convert his curse energy into blood, and if Yuji consumes his remaining brothers, he can gain their curse technique and the same properties as Choso to be able to convert curse energy into blood. So in the last chapter we received explicit confirmation, and now it's doubly confirmed that Yuji did indeed consume the cursed womb death paintings, which is how he gained the ability of blood manipulation. Choso goes on to say that the downside of using RCT, which is a large amount of curse energy consumption, is also not a concern for them. Here he is referring to himself and Yuji due to their special bodies. So Choso asks Yuji to be paired with someone who can use RCT when they do the body swapping train. Yuji is confused, wondering, wait, what is happening here? Then Oi reveals that with the help of his curse technique, he can even swap souls between human beings. So we finally have an answer about his curse technique. Then finally we see Kusakabe panel where he says that since Sukuna took over Yuji's body and used his curse technique, Yuji's body now remembers Jujutsu of a special grade. So they're going to take advantage of Oi's soul swapping ability. But Yui chimes in and says he can only do that once a month. So they'll only be able to do it 2 times total in this kind of training arc before the Sukuna fight. First, Yuji is going to swap with Kusakabe so Kusakabe can teach his body some cursed energy manipulation in the simple domain. Then cut back to the present where Yuji is using the simple domain to withstand Sukuna's domain. Yuji notices that Sukuna's domain is incomplete and there's some loophole, so he can endure it. And narrator states that Sukuna can't maintain this high-level domain for a long time and also cannot capture Maki within his domain due her heavenly restriction. Next, we get this gorgeous like full double spread of just the chaos of this domain. The top half looks almost like a massive tornado with all of this rubble just being flung around. And then the bottom half is our heroes who are just trying their best to withstand this onslaught. Choso screams out for his brother. It's at this point that Yuji's simple domain starts to crack and then ultimately shatter. He is bombarded with slashes, including one that takes off his foot completely. But he's pretty much unbothered by this. As he's gathering himself up, he notices that the slashes have stopped. He thinks that they've survived this onslaught, but Sukuna immediately brings out flames. So guys, Sukuna is finally using those flames, and maybe someone is going to die in the next chapter, and we'll find out who will be that honored one. So the chapter ends here, and there's a break next week. The editor's note was, flames of certain death are closing in, but don't trust the editor. They said Yuji was surpassing the king, so we don't trust the editors anymore. Everything's gonna be fine. They're not the flames of certain death, they're just flames of cooking. But do let me know your opinions on the chapter. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you with another amazing video. Until then, goodbye.